This is the beginning of the game. It doesn't have a company logo in front or anything else. And believe it or not, dear non-gamer watching this, a lot of games do similar things. Just present you with something and you know exactly what you do. That's a good thing. Let's put the tape in here and see what's on the tape. I would need headphones. Thank you very much. I know these old Walkmen, and you need headphones. Game's best played with sound. That means you can play it without sound. Is that possible? Actually, I don't know if this game exists in a mobile version, but there's a lot of games I have on my tablet, actually, and like to play when I'm sitting somewhere, don't have a book with me or something, and then usually I play them without sound. So, do I get demonetized for copyrighted music on it? Let's see what Maria likes to listen to. Nice! I just wonder, is it music by Maria on the tape? I never wrote my name on the tape, but I gave tapes to other people, and so maybe this is the music somebody chose for Maria to listen to.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between. But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs.
Does that exist, actually? A restorer? I mean, it should, shouldn't it? On the other hand, we live in a world where we buy new stuff, but like old videotapes and so on, I mean, I can restore them myself. But if I had anything, if, for example, I have an old, like G.I. Joe figure backpack that you can pull a string and then it talks to you. If that ever broke, I'd have to open it. I would give it to a restorer, probably, if that exists. But there are enough videos.
Was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
Well, let's unpack then. I did. Thank you, game. And I put it down again. Or shall I do it again? Want me to do it? Oh, I can move it around. Okay, let's turn it this way. It's now upside down, isn't it? Okay. By the way, what kind of game is this? I have no idea, I must say. It looked like a puzzle game. And it seems like a puzzle game, but it also seems to be a narrative game. So let's be open for it. And that's the toolbox, obviously.
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these.
Okay, it knows where it's supposed to go, right? I can't put it anywhere else. Good.
My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style.
Does a restorer need overalls?
My parents took this after I made my first repair.
Oh.
Seems like a lifetime ago.
Cute. By the way, talking about the overalls, there's really some psychological theory that shows you if you dress up for an occasion, even work, even things you don't want to do, that it's easier and more productive to work that way. If they've found that out in interesting ways, but I don't want to go into it. Yes, I want to go into it. To sum it up as short as I can, they gave different people a kind of apron to dress up, a lab coat, but that's the point. They told some people that this is a lab coat for scientists, some people that it's an artist's garb, and they gave them like scientific work and the others creative work. And depending on what you thought you were wearing, you were doing a better or a worse job. So, if you got the scientific job, but you thought you had an artist's garb, you did a worse job than the guy who thought he was wearing a lab coat. In the end, the main aspect of the experiment was the robe, the clothes were exactly the same and had just different names.
Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this. I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work.
Okay, that's flyers.
Who doesn't love a scrunchie? Practical and stylish.
What is a scrunchie, please? Is that the name of this brush?
I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off.
Okay, I'll leave them in.
I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman, at your service.
Wearing these? It looks like an oil can or something like that, like a little squeezer. What is it? Earrings? I have no idea what that is.
My passport. Not many blank pages left now.
And a cup of coffee. Oh, that's cute! The cup of coffee is for options. That's nice. I enjoy this immensely, just the look of it, I must say. So, what can I do now? Shall I close this again? What's the next thing to do? Help me, please! Oh, I can put them here. Sorry. I have to sort everything. I overlooked that completely. Aventura Classico. Suitcase.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl, and a voice she was longing to hear.
A doll? It's a doll, isn't it? No, it would be strange. I thought about the voice, Somebody brings me a doll and okay. Okay. I'm a boomer, ain't I? Thinking about dolls when it's about modern stuff like tapes.
It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect. I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
Oh, that seems to be a real child's voice. Very often you have just women talking for children, but that seems to be authentic.
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Okay. I wonder if I can just try everything. I know that you use a pen. Do you know what to use a pen for? Depends on how old you are, I suppose. You have no idea, if you're too young, what this pen is going to be used for. Okay, there's a metal thing in the way. So let's look at this here. I can... How could I move it around? Not at all. I can put it in the middle. And then I can take this and... No, let's leave that for later. Can open it. Sorry. Okay, let's close it again. I wanted to close it by pressing the button. Ah, it's such a long time ago. This is the power button. It doesn't seem to work, does it? Doesn't move. Check the batteries. How do I turn it around again? I saw the little here. Yeah, this what I'm. That's what I'm looking for. Can I? Ah, okay. It's already open. No, it's not open yet. I have to screw it a little more. Do I have to twist it somehow? No. It does it by itself. Okay, now let's take this away.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
So let's take out those. This game is doing something that I rarely do in real life, and that is really thinking first about how to organize stuff I put somewhere, and then later I'm looking for these things again. So, before screwing it back in, I would actually love to test it. That's a bit... Okay. It's running. I can hear it. Is that the... That's not the symbol that's on a stop button. That's the symbol on a pause button. Well, what... Anyway. So, twist it, turn it. How can I make it straight again? It's a bit... Okay. Ah! So, press mouse click again. Take this, put it in, and then it screws by itself. Screw you, I could say, but that would be impolite, I suppose. Okay, now put in the tape. But I have to fix the tape. And do you know now what this thing is for? Actually, it's for... Oh, I put this back. Then I take this. I have to put the things I'm working on in the middle of the table. So I take the pen now. And... Yeah. Don't...
Why did you do that?
By the way...
How did you do that? I didn't see.
Little girl, I took the pen, put it into the hole of the tape. You see? And there, it's perfect for winding the tape. If you ever have a tape that doesn't run anymore because it's rolled on too tight, you can use another pen, make a loop out of the tape, put the pen in there, and then slowly rewind the whole tape so that it's not stuck so fast, you know, twisted so fast anymore. That's the whole science in itself, the science of tapes. I could talk for hours now about the philosophy of tapes in contrast to anything that exists today. Oh, I have to open that. Now I put the tape in, close it, and let's play.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight, know that I will always love you, even though we both know that we must say goodnight. Good night, my darling.
Just remember that actually a tape exists where my mother is telling stories she had written herself, and just realized that I don't know where the tape is actually. Must be somewhere in my possession, but
When it finished,
it's a long time ago.
Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
They.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
Well, Izzy, money would be nice. You have some of that, I presume.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt.
Did you take everything or just the gum?
She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered.
It's a good tip for all you little ones watching, you know. Whenever somebody does something for you and it would cost money, just hand over a piece of gum and some buttons and they will be so touched that that will be fine. You can do that until you're 12 or something like that. Part I wouldn't be able to fix, yes. It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice concept. So I'm going to fix stuff and learn something about the people these things belong to. Just a few remarks about tape culture, okay? I mean, there are videos about that and people talking about it all the time of my age, I suppose. But the really wonderful thing in those days was that if you had a friend or a loved person or a crush or something, and you prepared a tape, it took exactly as long to record every song as the song was long, if that makes sense. And then it took even more time to think about what song to put next and press pause and prepare the records and so on. So I would say it took like 3 hours at least to prepare a 1 hour tape. And you put all your thoughts into the composition of it all, and then you made a nice cover and so on, and then you handed it over to someone. This is really something valuable that is missing from music culture today. And I don't know if anybody besides hipsters still does or can do something like that. Can you prepare a playlist on Spotify this way and then hand it over in some way? If you create an app that turns these playlists into something special and you put songs next to it or pictures next to it or something like that, that might work. But I think tapes were really, really special in that way. Even more special than giving someone a record.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father. I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it?
Can do, sir. Can do, definitely. That's your father's figurine. Doesn't seem to be made of china or ceramics. Ceramics? What do you call that in English? Ceramics. Because there's not much, little splinters and dust. But okay, let's start with the base.
Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
If I'm very, very careful, people won't see the glue, but they will probably see the cracks, right? Unless it really fits perfectly, but usually it doesn't. So if you have paint, that might be helpful. Oops. What? There's a lot of glue. Should I have taken less glue? I can wipe it off, can't I? I think I can. So, this,
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
So, if I see it correctly, yeah, I have to put some glue on here. I don't press the button, by the way. It just glues by itself. I would think this goes here. Yes. It's not rocket science, actually. Is it? I have no glue there yet. Or is it... I can't really tell if this... Oh yeah, there's some little glue down here, so yeah. Let's put this way. And... So, this arm goes here. Take it again. Put some glue on here. It's interesting that it makes me use a lot of glue, although I would like to use less.
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
We'll see, sir, we'll see. I think it should be. Did I bring the glue or did you have it? If I brought it, it will be strong enough. If it was lying here, I'm sure it's totally useless. But the statue is fine until you pay me. And that's all that matters. It's a nice statue, actually. What is this? What does it show?
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
What does this have to do with the statue? He didn't have time for anything less. Okay.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor.
Oh!
And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Oh, the picture, I see. His wife has died. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I see. And he's the mayor and his daughter only has gum and buttons in her pocket?
Sorry. I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too.
Wanted? I mean, he's the mayor. And it seems to be a peaceful place without much trouble. People have time to walk around and have things restored. But if he's the mayor, he has a lot of things to do. And the best thing to do would be to have a nanny for Izzy, right? I mean, the point with a game like this is it's a great concept and great execution. Okay, I have nothing against that at all. It's just that yes, like all stories told today, I sometimes wonder: do we need to have the problems immediately? You know, maybe yes, because problems are the easiest way to connect with us. But I'm always a sucker for stories that don't have to show problems first. That show me things that are fine and lure me into them. Studio Ghibli films did that. What is it? Kiki's Delivery Service, for example. There wasn't much going on, right? The problem was the young witch going somewhere. Or Totoro, yes, there are things like loss and so on, but it's not in the foreground. And I wish this story had given me a little time to concentrate on the repair stuff and the restoring stuff, and then suddenly surprise me with a little with the narrative ideas here. But that's first world problems, I would say. It's really nice, it's wonderful, and it's a good example for another game that's good for people who are non-gamers. I think you could give that to anybody interested in like picture books or something. I mean, the little interactive things you can do here or you must do here are not very not problematic. Here I can see what's going on. So these things get more and more complicated. I mean, that would be interesting to repair like a real watch or something. And that's great, isn't it? For both sides. If you are more interested in the story and you get immersed in it while you are clicking some things, or if you are more interested in the puzzle stuff and clicking and see how things work, even kids could do that and see, that's how a telephone works. But at the same time, they get immersed in the story. That would be fine. This game must exist on the tablet, right? It's made for that. And so if you ever worry about your kid, playing too much on the tablet, just check if it's a game like this and it will be fine. I liked it very much. Thank you for watching. See you next time.